After the isolation and the silence, the need for human connection appeared with a strength that I have never experienced before. The craving for a different sound, a deeper sound. A celebration for us, making it through the difficult times. A celebration for us, being able to be together again. A celebration for us, who found meaning in the same things. But mostly, a celebration of us. In all honesty, I recorded the introduction for this video before I started working on the project, but the audio came out so bad that I'm doing it again as I'm editing this video. Hi everyone, so let me give you some context about this video. So back in April this year, my sister and I got tickets to go see DPR in their world tour, and ever since we learned that we were going to the concert, I decided that something that would be really cool is for me to get a piece of clothing and customize it. So what you're gonna see in this video is that whole process from the very first day I started working on the shirt until the very last day, which was the day of the concert. That also happened to be my sister's birthday, which made the whole experience a lot more special for us. On a side note, as an artist, I've been going through an artist block for like the past 2 years or so. So at this point, any excuse that I can make to force myself to work on a project and be creative, I'll take it. So this whole process is one of those things. And yeah, I think that's all I have for now. Let me get started with showing you how this whole process went. To prepare for this project, I started by drawing all the designs I'm going to be placing on the shirt. And then for the changes I'll be making to the shirt, first of all, I'm gonna be cutting the sleeves, something similar to the style I see DPR Live wearing often, and I'm also going to rip this seam over here to get rid of the excess fabric, because the main part of the design is going to be placed here in the back of the shirt, so I need for this fold to be gone. So I'm going to have to rip this open, sew it back together, and then cut off the excess. I also wanted to show you some of the design plan here on my iPad, kind of the inspiration for the shirt and the type of artwork I'm gonna be integrating, because when it comes to clothing, I usually don't plan anything. I just start working and hope for the best. But this time I wanted to have a more clear plan that I can follow. So yeah, now let's get to work. I believe that after a smile, music is the universal language. I can't even begin to explain how important music has been for me throughout my life. Music has been my companion, source of inspiration. It has been my safe place when I needed comfort. And it always gives me the push I need whenever I'm going through a hard time. I've always loved finding new music and new artists. Some songs, I remember the exact time I discovered them, the exact moment I fell in love with a new sound or a new artist. DPR is not the case. I do remember it was at some point during one of my trips to Korea back in 2019 that I discovered DPR Live's music, but I don't really remember how it happened. But that's not important. What's important is that his music kept me company during the worst times of 2020. And I found a certain kind of inspiration that I will always be grateful for. For any of you who don't know, DPR is what I like to refer to as an artistic collective. They are a group of individuals who create music, produce and create videos, and They really just work in a diversity of different fields that also include design collaborations with different brands, but they have their roots in music. The different members work in all different aspects of what it means to create music and visuals, and they do it all themselves, which I think is very remarkable. Today is day 3 of working on the shirt, and this is the progress that I made so far. I finished cutting the sleeves. I also had to hand wash it once, so the fabric paint can actually stick to the fabric. And I had to iron it so that I can draw on it properly. I also drew all the designs, so today I can start painting, and this is where I feel like the real work starts for me. So yeah, I think I will see you in a couple of days. I first became a fan of DPR Live's music and sound. To be honest, I usually consume music through music videos first and later by listening to the albums, but in this case, it was the other way around. So by the time I watched the music videos, I was even more blown away and I became even a bigger fan. What I found in DPR's work that made it so special for me is that they have a beautiful contrast between their music and their visuals. The visuals created for the music go along really well with the sound, but there's something very personal and very raw about DPR's lyrics that is very well contrasted with the different worlds they throw us in with every visual experience. Artistically, it becomes very interesting to see a visual proposal that differs so much from other things we're seeing in the Korean music industry right now. Okay, so this is what we got so far. The Mairo design on the shirt is already finished, and I really like how the acrylic paint looks on the fabric. And I also finished the DPR logo here at the bottom of the shirt. For the design on the back of the shirt, this is going to be my main color palette that I'm also going to be mixing with a bunch of other acrylics to get the right colors. And by the way, I'm super excited about using these paints because I got them a few years ago. Then when I moved to a different country, I left them here and I never really got to use them, so I'm very excited to finally being able to paint with them. Now, let me tell you about what I think is most relevant in this video, and that is the connection we can feel when we find authenticity in music. In an era where we're constantly being bombarded by messages on social media, where everyone is trying to tell us what they think we want to hear, finding some kind of authenticity happens very rarely, and I feel like it's never easy to let that shine through, even when it comes to art. Throughout the past 2 years, we were all challenged to change our perspectives and look at things in a different way, because life just didn't give us another choice. And I feel like with that, we started to look at human connections in a different way. And in my life, music played a huge role in that, because there was a craving for finding art that felt real and honest. DPR Live and DPR Ian create worlds that come from their own experiences, their own struggles and perspectives in life. The fact that they are never shy to talk about their struggles and mental health really resonated with me, because after going through my own set of issues, it feels comforting to find artists whom you can relate to. Besides, they always share this sense of hope that I feel it's why their fans appreciate their work so much. Working on this shirt for the concert, it was an excuse to help me pull myself out of my artist block, not gonna lie. But it's also a small celebration of these things I found in DPR's work that have so much meaning to me. I'm so happy that the first concert I got to experience after the pandemic was the Regime Tour, because it was a really good show. To see them live in Santiago, my home city, felt like a full circle moment after finding their music while I was in South Korea. I have to admit that even though we had VIP tickets to get a photo with the DPR members and that we did meet them, for different reasons the experience was a bit uncomfortable and kinda unpleasant for some of the fans. But the DPR members are very kind people and they were super nice regardless. But that part of the experience is not what's important here. What's important? It's the music, and that it was an amazing experience that I will remember for a very long time. On a side note, to me, it feels very uncomfortable and sad to see so many people in the audience watching through their own cell phone screens, recording the whole show, having such a need to see the performers up close or get content for their socials, that they start pushing each other until the point where people faint because they can't breathe. But Chilean crowds are always a little bit too crazy, and maybe I'm just getting older. Still, that didn't stop us from enjoying the music and partying like it was 2010. To find authenticity in music and art can create a new connection. It can create new relationships with people who resonate with the same message. It can help you find comfort and meaning in the least expected ways. But most of all, finding authenticity in music can inspire change within yourself. So, thank you for the dream. It was perfect.